What is up, Lit Committee? What is up? First episode, y'all. First episode, man. I know I should have been getting this together, y'all. My apologies, man. We are here. We are here. First episode. Sorry. First episode. I had to throw them in there and get my sound stuff together, but it's all good. Look, first episode, man. I wanted to dive into this, man, as um, this is first of all, before we start, welcome to Leave It to Theo. Welcome to Leave It to Theo. I had to find my little sound thing, y'all. Welcome to Leave It to Theo. Excuse me on my ins and outs, but yeah, I wasn't gonna dig into this, but before we start, Leave It to Theo. I am your host, Theo, man. Welcome, everybody. Thank y'all for giving me your time and even just going on there and um just listening to a brother. All right. Before we start, make sure you subscribe. Go follow me on Instagram, Leave It to Theo. Go on YouTube, Leave It to Theo. That's where you can find this episode. It will be on YouTube, Leave It to Theo. And that's just a slew of other stuff I got. I'm working, man. I'm constantly working. But I want to dive into this. I ain't want to go into the gravy train or attach myself to the gravy train of what's going on right now down in my home state of Louisiana. But I'm like, hell, you know what I'm saying? Like, I am a fan for everyone that know. Everybody that know me knows how hard I rock for LSU and my Saints. And if you say boo, boo, boo back to you, you know what I'm saying? But um, I'm a huge LSU fan. Um, been watching them since I was a kid, as well as the Saints, even though my mom is a Dallas Cowboys fan, the most horrible fan. I know, right? Yeah, yeah. Cowboys fans. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Huge Saints fan. Been a Saints fan since I was a kid and LSU man. So um just leave it to Theo. I'm a dabble into sports, but it's also just to figure out the why, man. And that's my whole mission this concept of this show. Just intrigued with the why, but minding my own damn business. But I want to deep dive into this, man. And not too much follow the concept of what the gravy train is going on about. Brian Kelly, we all know Brian Kelly has been fired. Everybody and their mama probably didn't heard this. Everybody probably didn't heard. I'm talking about the people at the Waffle House that don't even watch sports down in Louisiana probably didn't heard Brian Kelly been gone and been fired. So I don't want to dig into that. Because if you click on YouTube or even on ESPN or every show that covers sports, they talk about it and they constantly gonna continue to talk about it. So what I want to do is I want to go on my own rabbit hole of, and I'm not gonna take up too much time, but I want to go on my own rabbit hole of why LSU? Why would a coach want to come to LSU and probably crack the code on a name that nobody probably talked about? Because I watch college sports every Saturday. I study it. I'm not no um football player. Never played. Well, I did in junior high. But that was it, man. But other than that, man, I was basketball and baseball. So I can talk some baseball with you for real, for real. Anybody know that they know me. I talk some baseball with y'all all day. But yeah, I watch it, man. I study it, man. And I'm like, hey, why not? Everybody else and their mama got opinions, and because opinions just like buttholes, everybody got them. So listening to some of these yahoos on here just talking about whatever the hell they want to talk about, I'm like, let me get on here and you know share my thoughts and my opinions, because I still believe Wi-Fi is free. So I'll go ahead and give you what I think, because being from that area, I understand the culture. And I know a lot of people say that a lot, and some people report on things, even being there, and they don't understand the culture. And there's no dabs at nobody, but you could be there 100% all day, but don't understand the culture. Because where I'm from a small town called Opelousas, Louisiana. Opelousas, Louisiana, home of the seasoning, home of Zydeco, home of Boudin. Um, Dever Henderson came out of there that played for LSU. Keon Coleman came out of there that went to Florida State that didn't get offered a damn scholarship. We got a slew of other people that made it up out of there, even basketball players. I can go on. Milton Ambrose, man, you got Justin Payne over there that's coaching for Georgia Southern. Shout out to all of them, man. The Paynes that went to Southern. Man, we got some players, man. You got long lineage of last names that produced athletic individuals. So don't sleep on the city of Opelousas. And I guarantee you, if a scout see this video, I guarantee you they're gonna say, "Oh, we know about Opelousas, OHS, OC, the surrounding area, man. Cam Crow graduated from Cam Crow, but Kevin Falk came from. So I'm gonna give you the culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you the culture. Cam Crow High, Lafayette High, St. Thomas More. You know what I'm saying? That whole area, man. Como High. I can go into a whole slew of those schools that's producing uh top tier top tier talent, and one thing any coach know that then coached at LSU know, if we can keep our state, we ahead of the game. But yeah, alumni of Michigan State. I graduated from Michigan State. Go green. But I just got you guys. I just got a bachelor's degree from you guys, and I kept it pushing. So, I bleed purple and gold. So, I do keep an eye on my Spartans, on my green. But 100%, I'll be honest with you, I'm a SEC guy, I'm a LSU guy, man, from just being a kid. But yeah, so my whole topic is the why. Why would anybody want to come coach to LSU? And I just been listening to the names that have been thrown around in this hat. Once again, I'm not gonna take up too much of your time. Also, before we go any further, make sure you subscribe. Leave it to Theo on YouTube. Go follow me on Instagram. Leave it to Theo. I'm on there cooking and just being me, man. But yeah, so yeah, go subscribe. But the names they threw around is some of the names. Some of them just been crazy. I seen one today. They was talking about they had Nick Saban, they had Lane Kiffin. Man, they had who the hell they had on there? James Franklin. They had some names on there, man. They had a Coach O on there. They brought Coach Orgeron out of retirement. Coach Orgeron probably at the strip clubs right now somewhere throwing all his money. But they got him on there coming back out of retirement to be a coach. Man, they had some crazy names. They had Mike Gundy from Oklahoma State. Oh man, no disrespect to Oklahoma State or Mike Gundy, man, but that man, that's been a ferocious, however you say that word. I don't want to butcher that. That's just been a nightmare over there in Oklahoma State, man, for the tenure he had. And I'm not saying all of his time there at Oklahoma State was bad, but man, that was bad. These last couple of years was bad. You know what I'm saying? Don't man, Mike Gundy, wherever you at, go retire, brother. Go sit on the beach in Florida and retire, man. But they had Mike Gundy name out on this thing that they posted on on the internet, man. And I was just like, yo, it was crazy. It was crazy. They had names that coaches that wouldn't even. I didn't think they had Herm Edwards. Somebody put Herm Edwards on the joint, man. So now you being funny. We don't want Herm Edwards. Please, Herm Edwards. Don't quit your day job. They're one of the ones they tell you don't quit your day job. Please don't quit your day job. You had Kenny Dillingham, Eli Drinkwitz, if I'm saying it right, from Missouri. Like I said, Lane Kiffin, man, some of the big names. John Summerall from down the street in Tulane, which I don't think that's gonna happen. Shout out to Blake Rufino. I watch him, AYS Sports, man. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to my guy that run the Power Hour for LSU. I talked to him a couple of bit on his YouTube. I follow those guys, man. Because I like the rawness of what they speak. Shout out to Matt Moscano down there in Baton Rouge that runs the after further review. And that's on the ESPN network. Shout out to that whole media staff that coverage my home state in that area of the LSU that's consistently doing this, man. Um, my job is I'm still active duty, man. So this is um love for me and me just loving the sports and just being who I am. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to share my opinions. But those guys are consistently following it, and kudos to them. I never take nothing away from them or discredit anything that they putting out, man. So when I say a bunch of yahoos just talking, man, it's a bunch of them because I listen to YouTube and I follow a lot of people and I listen to a lot of things they saying. Because information is key. But some information is not to be taken, so you can dispose it how you want to dispose it, and that's what I do. But a lot of them have good ideas and have good information to put out. And I see some of them really care about the way forward for this organization. um, and I want to say before I go on, shout out to Coach Frank, Frank man, Coach Frank man, hey, a natural born Louisiana man, Louisianian. The guy left McNeese man as a head coach to come back and help out with their program. So all praises and I wish him. I just want him to finish, man. A lot of people talking about going undefeated for the Hey man, let's not let's not expect too much. Let's just give him the grace. Like he said today in his conference today, we taking it one day at a time. And as fans, I want you guys to say, let's take this one day at a time, man. One game at a time with this man. He's stepping in. Same thing Coach Argeron did when they got rid of Les Miles at that time. He stepped in and he did an amazing job because he's from here. He was from there. He's from Louisiana. So um big shout out to him, man. So I wish nothing but the best. We're gonna continue to root for you as LSU fans. We will root for you. Man, he know that already. Not just like his attitude, his whole delivery, man. That speech was amazing. He had me fired up, man. So I think we're gonna be all right. And like I said, let's just finish. That's all we want to do. Let's just finish strong. Show the fight that LSU normally shows. That football program has talent, and I think he's gonna lead those guys, win or lose, man. When we go out there to Tuscaloosa, T-Town, we gonna uh we just gonna go there and give it all we got. And I think he's gonna put on a good performance and have those guys prepared. Um, Now back to my topic of what we talked about with the names. Um, to be honest with you, man, it's a lot of names, man. It's a whole it's crazy that this we didn't expect Coach Kelly to get fired. Well, I think a bunch of us did. So they'll probably start me yelling. My neighbors probably knew I was advocate for that, man. I'm yelling here downstairs, yelling, mind you, y'all, I'm in the Midwest. So I'm outside of Chicago in the suburbs. So um it's all Big Ten country, Notre Dame country, Big Ten, Northwestern, um, Northern Illinois. This is a slew of all that, man. But they know I have my LSU flag out, man. But they hear me here yelling, man. And some of the words I ain't gonna say on this episode, but yeah, they hear me yelling, fire that mofo, man. So we expected it. I didn't expect it to happen as soon as it did. I just kind of figured that after that game of Vanderbilt, um, the seat was hot. It was getting hot as my grandmother, as my mom on gumbo. It was hotter than her pot. And then when we got blown out in Tiger Stadium that night, Saturday night, against Texas A&M, an in-state rival. I mean, not an in-state, out-state rival, um, which became a rival. From the and even more added into the Tommy Mafia situation. Um, just made it more intense. But um, after getting blown out by Texas's little brothers, because they still their little brothers, no disrespect to Texas A&M, good team this year. Mike Elko doing a great job, but y'all still Texas little brother. Um, that was it. I think that was it. And then after seeing, I was sitting here all night because I was, I had went into this game understanding of what we was gonna get into, and I just wanted to see how they was gonna play. Man, I didn't think it was gonna get out of hand, but I'm kind of glad it did. And that allowed us to make that decision, especially when Governor Landry got involved. and made that decision. Just was talking about the seats. I don't know if it was even direct, but I can assume that he probably was watching that game and was like, "What the hell going on down the street?" So once he got involved, man, that was it. Especially for college right now that has an interim president but doesn't have an actual president. Let's get that. Don't get it twisted. There is an interim president in there, but we don't have an actual president. And somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the plan to hire a president for the school. But after that decision, man, media has been on fire about who should be at LSU, who should be the next coach. And my thing is always the why. Um, and I know a lot of people like it's a deal. I hear great things about our culture and us being unique, and I preach that. Like I said, I'm in the military, man, way over 20 years, and I done been different places, and I didn't always, you know, rep for my state. I love Louisiana, like no other, man. And somebody said I was listening to one show. Somebody said when you think about Louisiana, first thing you think about is New Orleans, and that's not the case, man. Uh, Louisiana is unique. It's broken up into three. You got the northern part, you got that middle part, and then you have well, you can say really four because you have that watershed down there of all real Cajuns and um, people that live off the land. And then New Orleans is just its own entity. To be honest with you, that's our biggest city. But everybody thinks that is from New Orleans, and that's how we act and that's how we carry. Yeah, we probably have similarities of how we pronounce things and talk. But you might listen to somebody from Shreveport, and they'll probably talk a totally different way than how I talk in Opelousas, in Lafayette, in that area, in that Acadiana area, man. Then you hear somebody from New Orleans and Baton Rouge talk totally different. So it's very unique. It's a unique state. The area is unique and it's talent. It is, Louisiana is one of them states is really talent. And it's no disrespect to no knock to any other state, man. It's just we just different. We raised different, we talk different, we eat different. The cooking is just off the meter. Because in the other state, man, it has people that have and I love, shout out to Florida too, man, because I think Florida in certain points are very unique. And that's for real. I think Florida is very unique. Like that Miami area is very unique because you have uh, a whole plethora of people coming in from the Caribbean, Jamaica, St. Croix, Cuba, which is a big influence. Haiti, the Dominican Republic, that whole Caribbean area. So it feeds into Miami in that area down there in Florida, which makes it very unique, and it's a melting pot. With Louisiana, not too much the same, but it's unique because of you can go from one part of the state, like I said, and get some it's the same thing, but cooked totally different. If that makes sense. Flavor, palate different, you know what I'm saying? Spices different. New Orleans make their gumbo one way. Where I'm from, we make our gumbo one way. Shreveport make their gumbo one way. But one thing about it, and I always said this and commented on it, a lot of things when it comes to Louisiana, Louisianians stick together. Yeah, we love LSU. We all love LSU. We love New Orleans Saints. We all love New Orleans Saints. You know what I'm saying? That's our team. That's what we rock. I don't care what parish you from. You can be from St. Tammy. You can be from St. Landry. You can be from You can be from Acadiana Parish. You can be way up there north and up there on the other side of Alexandria. And you got what that is up there. Um Calcasieu Parish. I mean Lake Charles is Calcasieu Parish. But you can be from all other parishes within that state, man. But one thing we do know, if we rocking with that purple and gold, we all rocking with that purple and gold. And ain't too many people gonna say nothing about our state. That's one thing. Every person I done met by my journey in the military, one thing we gonna do, we gonna stay together. We might talk trash amongst each other, but Louisianians stick together no matter what. You from Shreveport, Monroe, Bogalusa, New Orleans, Lake Charles, Alexandria, Pineville, no matter where you from in that area, we all stick together. And that's real deal Holyfield, you know what I'm saying? So to understand to what I'm saying, uh the coachings, the coaches that's coming here, we just want you to understand what you got, respect it, live it, and appreciate what we have in the product that we have within our state. Don't abuse it. Don't come there and think you're gonna get something out of it and don't put the work in. We don't if you're not invested into coming out there and allowing that alumni to come back, because you gotta understand the NFL got a bunch of Louisiana kids in that joint. You know what I'm saying? You better ask the which I think is the greatest coach in history. Outside of I love Jimmy Johnson, Bill Walsh. Some good coaches. Um, shout out to the Bear. Alabama's. But Nick Saban even tell you that, man. You can shake a tree and receivers, cornerbacks, them motherfuckers gonna fall out that tree in Louisiana. So if we gonna get a coach, we just need you to understand, whoever it's gonna be, we need you to understand what you coming into and what you inheriting. And we just want you to respect it, man. We don't want y'all to disrespect what we got going on here and take advantage of what we got going on. We don't want you to even come down here and try to fit in. We don't want you to fit in. We do not want you to fit in. We want you to be you, but also be you, but knowing that this is what I got and I'm rolling with him and we rocking. You know what I'm saying? And I think certain coaches, the names they didn't throw out, I think of fit. Some of them will fit in, and I think of some of them that they didn't throw out. And I'm like, I don't know about this, because it's a different culture. I think Lane Kiffin to fit in at LSU? 100%. 100%. 100%. I think Lane Kiffin to fit in at LSU. I think he'll do an amazing job at LSU. Do I think he'll win the championship? That's for Lane. That's for Lane to understand that and to figure out, because the last three coaches, minus the one that just left from us, departed, didn't win. The last three before him won. And Nick Saban set that tempo for us, which we're gonna always be in debt to him. But um, if he doesn't understand that, then that's gonna be for him to find out. And we'll be back to square one again, because I think the narrative of a lot of people like, oh, this modern day coaching thing is crazy. Man, let me tell you something. And I don't mean to keep jumping from one topic to another, because I'm gonna go back to my topic. You're all gonna ball down like a gumbo right now. I'm just putting it together. It's gonna go back to what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Lane has to understand. I mean, not Lane. The coaching Carell right now. I mean, Carcel right now of NCAA college football is gonna be like that for every program. We sit up here and we say, and because I really think Lane gonna stay at Ole Miss. I won't be mad. He's building something, man. He's really building something. The man got there in 2020. Overall record 51-19. The conference is 29-17, and his bowl record is 3-2. Yeah, he have yet to make it to the playoff, but he certified playoff this year, which it baffles me that we talking about this man coming to our college or coming to the state when he has a team that's going to be in the playoffs. And and the distraction is real, because you don't think them players hearing what's going on and his name being tossed around. So I'm pretty much sure I'm he's handled it, and he has addressed it, which I'm pretty sure he has addressed it, or he probably didn't, and he's gonna address it the way he wants to address it. But yeah, them players hearing that. But he started 5-5 because of the COVID year, 10-3, 8-5, 11-2, 10-3, to now being 7-1 and gonna be in the playoffs. So you gotta think like, is he building something? And he is building something there. In Ole Miss, I think Ole Miss is gonna throw the whole kitchen sink at them, and if they don't, they stupid. But if they don't, I think I'm not gonna say they stupid. If they don't, I think they understand this is a business. But hey, we have a backup. Sorry, we have a backup. And I think they know their backup already. Will probably be that defensive coordinator that they have there that can probably sustain. You know what I'm saying? And not saying Ole Miss is not a program, but they want to win champion. Everybody want to win a championship, man. If you competing at the highest level within this conference, and no disrespect to no other conference, because Appalachian State will bust anybody to tell on a Saturday, and we've seen all that. USF will bust anybody to tell on any given Saturday. If you going in there tripping, but if you competing at the highest conference, SEC, Big 10, ACC, Big 12, those conferences, man, those power conferences, you want to compete. I don't give a damn if you the bottom of the barrel. Look at Vanderbilt. Amazing job Clark Lee has done with that program, man. And that's the same. Who's to say? We sitting up here and saying, and I haven't even said it like, hey, after next year when Pablo Dago gone, Vanderbilt might look like a whole new team. They might be back to being the bottom barrel, but who's to say that? Because it's gonna fall back to the coach. In the modern day time of the NCAA right now is money, 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 money. That's the why, right? Why is these programs being advanced every year or sustaining every year? Is the money. It really is the money. Ohio State has been doing this since the NIL have started. And this is for real. Since the Jim Trussell days, Urban Meyer days, them guys have been sustaining. And I give Ohio State that much credit, man. Them guys have been consistent with competing. Because before the NIL, we all know everybody was still spending money. Money was still being spent. You know what I'm saying? So they have been consistent with how they spend their money, what they spending their money for. From the top to the bottom, it has been a consistent level of being able to compete every year. Whether it was for the FCS Bowl and all that other stuff, the Fiesta, the Rose Bowl, and playing for that national championship at them bowls before the playoffs started, they have been consistent. And there's a bunch of teams that have. So to go back on saying that narrative of, everybody wants something fast. Hey, man, to me, it been like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that before the NIL, it wasn't that exposed of knowing you was spending money. If that makes sense. Or before the NIL, it wasn't you understanding that you had to hurry up and make something happen. You know what I'm saying? Because coaches were getting fired before the NIL if they didn't produce. You know what I'm saying? It's just that at that point in time, you had good coaches that was sitting there and sustaining and was competing at an all-time high because they was in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Like they was in the mix. So to sit here and not hear people say, oh, everybody wants stuff fast. They want this fast. They want to do this fast. They want to do. Hey, man, hey, let me tell you something. Clark Lee at Vanderbilt right now, he come out. That's once again, that's why I was trying to get to next year. If their team look different, they go 1-11. Then the next year, 6-6. Then the next year, I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Everybody gonna be sitting here talking about something. Damn, why that man he had the best team 3 years ago. Why they firing him? You have now set a standard at Vanderbilt that them Vanderbilt fans is gonna be expecting because hey, you have the money. So now that just told me you only had money for 2-3 years. So why get our hopes up? Because Vanderbilt got some paper to keep up. Because now that's the game. But it always been the game. It's just that now you on the all time. Everybody got the money, so now it's like, hey, we gonna be on point. You know what I'm saying? If we gonna compete, we gonna compete. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Like, ain't no team gonna keep holding out when you got just early this year. This is another thing. It's the other thing. I got a homeboy. He Alabama fan. Hey, when they lost to Florida State, yeah, man, get that mother whoop out of there. They was ready to, man, they was ready to tear killing the boy head off and tear his house up. They didn't probably went out there and threw toilet paper on the man house, all kind of stuff. Threatening his kid. They probably threatened everybody. But see what I'm saying? You this is what we going to, man. This is what we going to, y'all. Like you have you at a monitoring time right now. You in the time right now where yeah, you know, you don't have the time. And the whole narrative of because everybody, well, you know, we should have just, you got to be with them with the good and the but that ain't, hey man, the good and the bad comes with if I'm go ask. This is street rules, bro. This is street rules. If I go down the street and I go ask the drug dealer, hey man, front me a whole thing of kilo, and I don't want to make this to sound like that. A whole matter of fact, I'm not going to say that. Let's do this. Military, right? If I go, hey man, you know, we're gonna spend all this money on these new jobs, and we're gonna go get these folks to get the marketing done for these new jobs that we promoting. Is up for them recruiters, in whatever branch it is, to go get a return of investment on making sure we fill those slots. Because they're gonna be like, hey man, we just paid over $1 billion for 5 of these new jobs. And we going within the year, and then y'all think the military even faster. It's 6 months into that year, and they trying to figure out why none of these damn jobs ain't been filled. That they didn't spend $1 billion on marketing, advertising, all this other stuff, and they want to know what is the ROI? What is your ROI? And then that's when because I'm in recruiting, and you want to talk about some audit shit. They make sure every stone is turned over so they can see what's really going on. You want to talk about open up in the closet, and they ain't one of them the issues where you can close the closet and your mama come in and she told you to clean your room and you didn't put everything into the closet, right? And you didn't close the closet up. And that's where all the bullshit is at. And then eventually she gonna come in and one day she say, nah, something ain't right about this. There's a smell coming from here. And then she opened up that closet and all that shit fall. Now it's a problem. So this is where you run into when you go ask a booster for all that money and you say, hey man, I need X amount of dollars. And I guarantee this is, you give me that money, we and that's what everybody's not understanding. A lot of people quick to say, well, we got to have patience. Hey man, 4 years was patience. That this 4th year, if you come ask me, hey man, if I had $1 million to give you and you come ask me, hey man, lend me $1 million, I guarantee my business gonna be up and running in 6 months. Now the person I am, and it's real talk, everybody know me, person I am, I know in 6 months you're not gonna have that business up, because before I give you the $1 million, I'm gonna go into every goddamn scenario to figure out, okay, he opening up this, she opening up this. So I'm gonna give you a little grace. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you a little grace. But you better believe at month 8, I'm coming looking for you because I'm like, yo, what we doing? Because I ain't seen no building put up, I ain't seen no name, LLC, I ain't seen Nathan. What are we doing? Knowing that if you gonna open up a restaurant, I know I'm gonna break even, or we gonna just sustain, because that's a food. The restaurants we gonna sustain. I'm not looking for no money. But if you ain't even put the damn banner up, the building up, and it ain't nothing been LLC, ain't nothing, like you ain't even got a plan. Yeah, you got to go, and I want my money back. You know what I'm saying? So this is where you get into where everybody that kills the noise of what people is talking about. Like, hey man, we should have just been patient with them. It ain't about no patience, boss man. You went and ask folks for money. Whether you sit there and people be like, well, they billionaires, they can make that up. It don't work like that, man. Don't work like that. If you dabble in stocks, anybody know that. It's corporations that know they losing. They gonna lose some money. But damn, if they constantly losing money on the same stock and they got the person that's managing that shit, they gonna come, hey bro, why you keep buying this stock? We ain't making no money from it. Now we just wasting money. Anybody that got money or invested into something gonna want to know where the money went and why this didn't happen the way it was supposed to happen. Because when I gave you the money, we was on the same page. So now that's when the microwave stuff comes in, and it's business. It goes back to business. This is the difference between emotions and business. And once everybody understand that, I think that's when you gonna start hearing, because that's the climate of what the NCAA football is at right now. If you go invest in a coach that said I was down there in Bufufu University and I didn't have the resources, right? If I didn't have the resources to help me, and you tell me, hey, come over here to Big Wig University where we got unlimited potential of talent and we got the resources to help you out, because I seen the potential you had at Bufufu University. So I'm gonna help you out. And then you come to me and you say, hey man, and I say, well, what you need? Oh, we need blue, 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 blue. And then you go out there and we give you everything you need. First year we tracking. Oh, okay. All right, we gonna get it together. Second year, oh, all right, all right, all right. That third year, now I'm looking at you. I'm like, hey, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, oh, hold up, bro. Hey, fourth year, now I'm like, hey, man, nah, bro. Hey, bro, we just gave you 20 million, bro. Blah, 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 gave you this, blah, 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 gave you this. These folks on me talking about some, yo, bro, I just gave you boy 5 million. Hey, I gave you boy 6 million. What are we doing? Hey man, I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him. Ain't no talking to him, bro. Like, hey, bro, we just got massacred. A $18 million massacre that happened that night. So then that's what, and then once that goes back to killing what everybody keeps saying about, well, you just gotta be patient. Ain't no more patient, player. $18 million just got massacred. That's like going out, man. That's like going to the store and buying a bunch of chicken, seasoning and cooking the chicken, and I hand you the pot and you walk outside to put the chicken on the grill, and is a, you know, you go out there and you drop all the meat in the damn dirt. You just wasted my money. And I literally sit here and watch you drop this meat into the damn dirt. And you gonna come and say, man, my bad. No, it ain't my bad, bro. That's a waste of money. So now we have to make decisions on what's gonna be the next move. And that's what nobody understands, right? So the microwave stuff has to happen. That's just the climate of the NCAA, man. Right? That's just the climate of the NCAA right now. And if we don't understand that, then I don't know what y'all watching. And it always been like that. Like I said, in a couple of years, you're gonna see a lot of coaches going, that y'all thought was hotter than fish grease right now. They're gonna be looking for a job. They're gonna be looking for a job. So to kill the noise with why people think we shouldn't be patient with certain things, that's the reasoning. And somebody else probably that's on these platforms then probably had a whole bigger synopsis of explaining that to everybody and breaking it down for you intelligent individuals, where it's me that, I'm just a barbershop guy. I'm just a guy sitting in my daggone second bedroom speaking my opinion. But it's the same crap that they saying. You know what I'm saying? It's just they probably gonna sound a little more intelligent than me, but it's the same crap. People don't like to be how they money played with, and if I'm investing into something, I want my ROI. And if you don't know what ROI is, it's return of investment. I want that. Okay. But to get back to these names, yeah. So if that's and that's for any coach coming to that school, you got to understand that. Do I think the firing of a person of that status that fast kind of scares away a lot of people? My why is why would you think like that? Because it goes back to understanding that anybody that, because coaches they say they talk to each other, so everybody knew when that man left Notre Dame, and that man said he was, once again, to go back to, he left Notre Dame because he said he wasn't having the amount of resources that he needed to win the championship. He said that on national TV. Every coach that's coaching right now probably heard that. I know Marcus Freeman heard that. You know what I'm saying? When he left, because he was there in that locker room with Marcus Freeman when he dipped. Or and if he didn't, Marcus Freeman probably seen that shit on TV and was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you what we got up here." Because anybody that believes Notre Dame ain't a big boy program, hey, I got an uncle that would love to know what you smoking. If you don't think that Notre Dame is a big boy program, I got an uncle that would love to know what you smoking. But like I said, I'm in the Midwest, and I know how people feel about Notre Dame, and I know how they felt about him up here. All right, the person that left, departed them, and then got fired by us. Um, they was more excited when I'm moving through the streets out here than me. For me, you know what I'm saying? So, um, they heard him say certain things, man. So it don't make the program bad because you conjured up what you was gonna do and what you felt like you wasn't getting at your previous employment, you know. So they heard that and they know, okay, hell, before you, the shrimp boat captain won the championship, the grass eater won a championship, and the dean of all deans won a championship and set the program on a standard that couldn't be, duplicated as he did at every place he went to. So you hear this and you say, "Hey, man, this is why I can go to LSU and win on in that program because my expectations is not the same. My expectations is to win the national championship, but I know I have the resources here. I know I got the talent, and I know I can fit into that culture, and I can just coach, and I can be invested, and I'm going there to do something, and I'm on a mission." And I think if any one of these coaches that they talk about, Lane Kiffin, they threw Eli drink whiskeys in there, Kenny Dillingham, Clark Lee, Nick Saban, John Summerall, which once again I don't think to be honest with you, I don't think none of these names uh, are going to even come to LSU. And the wise because I think they're in great situations, all of them. They're all in great situations. And for John Summerall, who's down the street in Tulane, Miss Gail just donated some money to that school. New Orleans, the politics. Now, once again, if you don't understand the politics of Louisiana, that's another thing. And I'm not saying you need to come down here and be a political guru, but it is a political state. It's been a political state since Huey P. Long and way before then. You know what I'm saying? So the damn downtown of our capital is an all refinery down there. One of the biggest all refineries in America. Yeah, probably in the world. So if that tell you that that's a couple of steps away from the state capitol, that's stuff you be in tune to if you're gonna go down there. So you understand it's very political. You know what I'm saying? So you get that part and you like, okay, cool. So once you understand that, you can put that all into play. And like I said, for him, that's putting the governor and some other politician stuff into a whole nother realm of him taking coach that's at Tulane that has big money too, that's in the biggest city in the state, and taking away from that fan base to bring him up the street. Nah, it ain't. And trust me, there's not gonna be no. Well, we helping out now. They don't look at it like that. Trust me, they ain't looking at it like that. Um, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But they ain't looking at it like that. Trust me, they are not looking at a 1-for-1 swap or hey, you gonna go help the state out now. Now, if John Summerall going anywhere, it ain't gonna be to LSU. It's gonna be somewhere else. I heard somebody say Kentucky because his alma mater, his family's there. So it might be Kentucky. Well, it might be Florida. You never know. You know what I'm saying? So, but I want to say, and then I'll digress and close this out. Um, is some names that I think, and they're probably like, oh, that I think would be perfect, or not perfect, but I think they will fit the scheme, and you giving them opportunity to build uh, their own, their own train of of what they trying to come here and do, and I just know I can see they probably hungry, and they would probably take the job, um, and probably do some good things, man. Like, I know they bring up uh Joe Brady. There's the OC for the Bills, Shepard. That's the defensive coordinator for the Lions. No, no. Uh, coaches like that, man, once again, Shepard is in a good situation as a DC. Yeah, he played for LSU. Um, and there's no disrespect to that coach, man. He probably would fit in later on, but you got to give that man some time to develop. He's a defensive coordinator right now. I don't know what he was before, but we not gonna throw him in the Lions den like that, because then you got to build a whole staff around him. He's not coming with a staff. You have to build a whole staff around him, um, to make sure he succeeds. And I don't think they want to do all that, especially if they want to bring a coach in. You got Frank Wilson, Coach Frank, that's sitting in the seat. That's gonna be a name that I say, interview him for the job as they should, especially if he does a good job, 2-1. Hell, you go 1-2. I don't care as long as you see something that sparked him to them players to play. Give him an opportunity to be interviewed. You know what I'm saying? Jeff Brom. I think Jeff Brom will bring a whole different tenacity to the coaching down there. I even said Alex Gulesh, that's down in USF. Nobody talking about him, but then I seen that Florida was after him, which that makes sense. He's in the state, he's down the street from them. Um, if Florida go after him, that hey, that's probably a good fit for Florida. It really is. I think it is a good fit for Florida, because that's another opening as well. Penn State talking and probably gonna talk to Jeff Brom, which I think that'll probably be a good fit for him up there as well. But these are coaches that you don't want to, I would give them I would at least give them a call. You know, I was, hey man, call Nick Saban, because everybody, that's what everybody's hot. Like, oh, you need to call Nick Saban. Call Nick Saban. It would be my first two calls, and I'm in agreement with it. If you can get it, would definitely be Nick Saban, which I know he's gonna say no, and it'll be Lane Kiffin, which I know he's gonna say no as well. But then again, I'm probably talking out of my damn lips, because which I am, because I'm just giving you my opinion, because I just think he has a good situation, man. He really does, and I think Ole Miss is not. They're not stupid. They're gonna give the man the money. Um, and the only time will tell if he'll win the championship there, which I know I don't know. It's hard, man. Ole Miss, they're gonna lose a lot of players, man, and that's the other thing. You lose players, man. As this transfer portal is crazy. It's money. So these kids gonna want to go different places, man. But Lane Kiffin is a players coach, so he'll probably get the kids to come and stay. But what you got this year is not gonna be the same, and that's just with any team. You're not gonna have the same team. Ohio State don't have the same team, but they consistent. You know what I'm saying? And only time to tell, when they gonna play somebody, because they really haven't played nobody. So Oregon ain't got the same team, and you seen that when they played Indiana. Indiana don't have the same damn team. They got a different team, and they look good. They beat Oregon. So these players, they change, man. They leave, they get some offers from different places, man. Especially if they got what they call them. Especially if they got a damn agent that's working for them. Some of these players, they playing, they love the sport too, but some of these players are in some jacked up situations where they got to make the move for them, the right move, man. And until they mediate the move, until they mediate how many years a player got to do at a school when they sign for money and all this other stuff. Excuse me, y'all. It's gonna be the wild, wild west. All right. So that right there will tell you, you know, these teams gonna change every year. So, if Ole Miss throw the bag at Lane, man, who's to say, if he's gonna win the championship? If he does, then kudos to him. And then you like, okay, and then Ole Miss could say, yeah, I see that's why we gave him the money. But if you gonna constantly do 11-2, 10-3, 9-5, 10-3, 9-5, you know what I'm saying? Or essentially keep going back and forth on 9-3. My bad, 9-3. I said 9-5, 9-3. 11-2, 10-3, and you make the playoffs, get put out, make the playoffs, and then you don't make the playoffs. Then you got to figure out once again. They're gonna go back to what people are gonna say because the fans gonna be like, okay, man, LSU won a championship, Texas A&M won the championship, Texas winning the championship, Georgia winning the championship, Florida just won one, and they was in some boo boo a couple of years ago. Tennessee winning one. Like, what are we doing? Because that's when it comes back to when everybody's gonna be looking like, okay, why are we not competing to win the championship? These playoffs is cool, but then eventually that's gonna get old. I'm telling y'all, it's telling you, bro. Eventually that shit gonna get old. Okay, we can't just keep making the playoffs and getting put out the first round. You better look at the NFL. Hey, Rex Ryan was famous at making the playoffs and getting put out the first round. Right now, they talk about Mike Tomlin. This is what I'm saying. And I know, and I'm gonna close it up, y'all, in a bit. Go look at Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin been making the first round the last couple of years and getting put out. And you hear whispers about, is it time to move on? This guy been there long, man. You know how Pittsburgh run their organization. And you got people that's you can't sit in there and tell me you go to a Pittsburgh Steelers game or you go to that city, you better believe it's somebody there. Hey man, if they don't make the playoffs this year or they make it to the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers this year, I guarantee y'all this. The Steelers make the playoffs and they get put out the first round with Aaron Rodgers. Watch what they can watch the narrative. And then everybody can see what I'm saying. But this is where the sports is and has trickled to the college. I gives a damn about what you did yesterday. That's with recruiting, bro. This is with, I'm telling y'all, I'm in recruiting. You make mission the first month, the next month you don't make mission, nobody give a damn what you did that month before. This is the league, buddy. This is the league. So with that saying, if Ole Miss give him the bag, and in 3 years he don't make the playoffs or he don't even win the championship, but then the predecessor is down the street, say Mississippi State go win the championship because they didn't found the right coach or they found the guy that can come in there and get some players and he just coached them right and they won. Then I guarantee you in 3 years they're gonna say, "Oh hell, well we didn't gave Coach Kiffman 81 million or whatever the hell the bag is, and he can't even seal a deal." And once again, go back to what I'm telling you. Mike Tomlin don't win. They make it to the playoff this year with DK Metcalf and Aaron Rodgers. Now, mind you, as fans, we know this team ain't good. NFL players that's on ESPN, which I respect some of them, they know that. Like, oh, this team ain't good because they lacking in something. The defense is bad. You can watch them and see they missing certain things. But people don't care. They're like, hey, man, how you have Aaron Rodgers that we waited on? We passed up all these quarterbacks in the draft. Is Mike Tomlin the right coach, or is he didn't outcoached himself out of Pittsburgh? That'll be the whole conversation motherfucker wake up on after they get put out the damn playoffs for the first round. They're gonna be like, is it time for Mike Tomlin to go? That's what you're gonna hear on Get Up in the Morning or ESPN or wherever the damn these media sites. Because let me not say the name because I don't want to get sued for, I'm just starting off on these media platforms. That's what you're gonna hear. Is Coach Tomlin ready? Is he a little too old, or is it time for Pittsburgh to move on? They saying that about Aaron Glenn right now, and the man was just there a year. You know what I'm saying? Like this is so when fans in the college world don't understand what's going on in the climate of where college football is moving at, it's not the same, man. This is not the 1995, man. This ain't the University of Miami and Florida State and Nebraska and you know your Ohio States, your LSU's and your Alabamas that was playing and they was the power teams, and then everybody else was just there. Yeah, hey, if you was a coach in '95 at Boston College, you could have went 1 for 9 for 15 years straight. As long as you made one bowl 1 year, your ass was good. You know, that was a smooth job. You know, you won. And you was probably out there scouting and recruiting and doing everything you can to improve their program. But you just knew the narrative of Boston College was going to be 1-9, and you kept your job. Can't do that. Because let Boston College get a good coach tomorrow or next year, and they go 12 and they go 10-2, win the ACC. They'll, oh man, this guy is the best thing. And then he gonna come back again next year, and he gonna go what? 10-1, or 11-1, made the playoffs. And then right after that, guess what? Because the money, you can't sustain that shit, man. That school is meant to do what it was supposed to do on some other level. And until they mediate this paper and how the paper is divided and moved around, Boston College will come back out that third year and go 1 for 11. And then they're gonna say, oh man, this guy gotta get fired. He barely making the playoffs. See what I'm saying? So that's gonna always be the narrative. So to go back to what I was saying, do I think Lane to come? I don't. He possibly can come to LSU. Hell, the guy that's the GM over there, he knows him, you know. So they can probably be in the talks behind the scene. We don't know, but my I have a question mark next to Lane. All these other coaches, Coach Eli, Coach Kenny. No. Clark Lee, he's not coming. He's in a good situation. Nick Saban, no. And I would be surprised. John Summerall, no. The guy, Coach Key from Georgia Tech, give him an interview. That's all I'm saying. Coach Alex Golish at US, give him an interview. The coach at Texas Tech, give him an interview. Get a guy an interview. That's what you do. You know, you get them guys like that interview because you're looking at their programs and you're looking, they hungry, man. They're young and they hungry. And I think that's where you gotta go. If I'm LSU, you follow, you look at that, man. You look at those coaches after you give them two that you're gonna, that's on your top of your board, and you give them a call and they say no. Now you gotta say, okay. But these other ones that you got under those, nah, man. Don't even waste your time calling them. They in a good situation. And, talk to Clark Lee in 3 years at Vanderbilt and see what he would say then. You know what I'm saying? But by that time, you got a coach, and you hope you got a good coach that's sustaining and y'all being successful. But if you're gonna talk to his OC, his offensive coordinator that came with him, that came, and that mean he wouldn't get from Arizona State. That followed him there. I mean that he brought over with Scatterboo. Not with Scatterboo, with Diego. From New Mexico State. My bad, from New Mexico State. That he brought Diego Pavia. He brought him there from New Mexico State. Talk to the OC. But his coaches, man, that I think you have to interview and you got to see, and you bring them there. I don't think no interview should be done over the over no Zoom call. Initially, you're gonna do that, but I think if you're gonna interview any coach, they need to bring their tail down to Louisiana so they know what they getting themselves into, especially one that ain't never played there on the Saturday night, or that ain't never played there at all. And you bring them down there and you introduce them to the culture and you bring them around and you let them see. And if it fits them, Because it's easy for a motherfucker to tell you anything over Zoom. But you bring them into that facility so they can see and they can be like, oh, damn. And then and you show them all the accolades and, hell, you got them trophies in there. I'll take that motherfucker right down that hallway, shoot them trophies. And then, pressure bust pipes. He'll bust a pipe right on the spot right there. He see them trophies and he like, shit, man, and then hey, this is what we here to do. And, if they ain't about that, hey, man, you can tell from the conversations, hey, okay, hey, thank you for coming. And get his ass out the building. But don't just settle for anything or any name because they sound hot and they sound good because that might not be the fit. That's all I'm saying. All right. That's all I'm saying. And that's my why I think you should go with the two names I said at the end, or just other coaches in general, man. That Texas Tech coach, man. Hell, LSU, man. Hey man, call that guy in North Texas and see what he's talking about. Because he got a hell of a quarterback over there. And that could be your possible quarterback for next year. That's just me speaking. And I'm gonna put that out into the damn universe, Because I'm paying attention. Like I said, I watch all the college football games, and everybody know I have all TVs in my house. I'm watching NHL right now. Just got through watching baseball. But I tell you, when I tell you I watch sports and I study and I watch it. And I watch every game on Saturday. And anybody that know me, they know. I'm not to be bothered with on Saturday because I love the game. And I love my purple and gold. So, but I always pay attention to everything else. And I'm telling you that North Texas team is good for a reason. Yeah, it's small college. And you're like, well, he ain't probably ready to coach in SEC. He probably ain't. But hell, like I say, bring him down there and see. Talk to him, and if he don't, hey, But that guy got a quarterback. He got a quarterback up there, and if you ain't paying attention to that, that's possible he can be your next quarterback. And the kid is tough. The kid is tough. And this is the first time I don't be hearing people. You see, it's easy. Like I say, this is my opinions. This might be, oh man, that guy he throwing woo, 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 woo. Hell, I watch some games, and you go talk to anybody up there in the media that cover that media for that do the media for that damn school up there. They gonna tell you that boy is a monster. So you sit in and say all that, this and that. Hey, that guy's a monster. And then the coach, he has ties out because if I'm wrong, I think he came from a tree from one of them coaches' trees. I'm gonna do my research and I'll let y'all know in my next episode. But go have that conversation with him. But that quarterback though, I'm telling you, unless you need to be looking at that quarterback because if he ain't, I guarantee is a coach around the country looking at his ass. And you talking about Lane Kiffin? Hell, that kid he got right now, they found that kid off of TikTok. Now, if this kid was to get drafted and he gets some say, hey, man, you need to go to the NFL right now. Lane Kiffin gonna be looking for a coach if he's staying at, a quarterback if he's staying at Ole Miss because Sims gonna probably leave. The Sims gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna be backing up nobody. And then again, Lane probably got it locked down. We say, hey, man, this guy can go to the NFL. We're gonna put you back in the mix. You're gonna start for us. But I guarantee he probably got an eye. He's seeing the game. He's like, damn, that kid can play. So if it's in the if it's in the LSU scout that listens to this or they run across my page, I'm telling you right now, go on to about an hour and 3 minutes of my damn video, and you're gonna hear me say this kid. Now I don't know the kid name in North Texas, but I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna find him right now. And I hope because I think he's a freshman. I really think he's a freshman. Yep, there he is. Drew Metzmaker. Drew Metzmaker. And I don't think he's a freshman. Yeah, he is a freshman. He's a freshman. I was right. Drew Metzmaker. The boy bad. 2,400 yards, 21 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. QBR rate 64.2. I just probably exposed everybody to this young man. I'm knowing somebody watching him. But Drew, Messmaker, I'm letting you know, man, I'm watching you, boss man. I keep an eye on you, brother. And you're doing some great things, man. Y'all got Navy this weekend. I think you gonna hopefully y'all can win because I'm Army, so hopefully y'all beat the Navy. But shout out to you, man. You a hell of a quarterback, and I hope you get an opportunity to play at a big level. Nothing against North Texas. But I think you'll be an amazing quarterback somewhere, and you probably the Big 12. You go to the Big 12 or you go to SEC. But I guarantee you, if somebody ain't paying attention to him, somebody gonna come scoop his ass up. And if he's loyal to his coach, kudos to him because that you don't find that too often in the modern day of where we at with this college sports. And on that note, I digress. I just hope LSU finds the right coach that fits that culture for us, that understands us, should I say, not for us, but for them players, because you got talent down there. And I hope we find a good, amazing coach, and you can keep some of that staff, and you bring that alumni back into that building, and you get that building back and rocking, and you get Death Valley back and popping, man. And that's all we want in the state of Louisiana, and go compete and beat some people up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do we gonna beat them up, or that but we ain't losing. And I just feel like right now we ain't physical enough. And if you can go in there, whoever you is, and go get that team squared away, man, the state of Louisiana will be greatly appreciated and in depth to you. So on that note, this is episode 1 of Leave It to Theo. Why LSU? I just gave you that concept of why LSU. Before I go, subscribe. Please subscribe to Leave It to Theo on YouTube. Go follow me on Instagram, Leave It to Theo. I don't have a TikTok. I'll probably get that started up and rolling. But this episode will be on YouTube under Leave It to Theo, man. Y'all go subscribe, man. And on this note, man, I'm telling y'all right now, man, I appreciate your time. I appreciate everything. And thank y'all for joining me on my first episode. Leave It to Theo, y'all. We out.